What's up, everybody? I'm Big Data, and this is A-Sides. Well, that paranoid electronic pop music kind of felt like the most succinct way to say what it is that I'm doing. I'm basically making pop songs that deal with themes of paranoia in light of technology and its increasing role in our lives. So. Because they know I shut this down. They've been watching all my windows. I'm definitely I'm a perfectionist and control freak and megalomaniac type. So it's hard for me to let go of things. But I've gotten better at that over the years. Of course, there's always going to be tiny little details that I could go back and redo, but I feel incredibly happy about 2.0, and I love it. Yeah, I still love listening to it. Because they know what I've been hiding. They're right under my bed, they're on patrol. Here they come, yeah, here they come, out of the shadows to take me to the court. The process, well, I always need to write with people in person. The results just are never as good when it's over email for me, which is ironic when the band is sort of about technology. But I do need to kind of do it the old-fashioned way. The process in general, it's always I'll write an instrumental piece first, so they'll what you hear in the final songs. The instrumental stuff is usually there before we write any of the lyrics. So this will clearly be the verse. This is clearly where the chorus goes. This is, all the sections are sort of built. And then I'll get together with the vocalist, either when they happen to be in New York, or if I'm in their city, or I'll travel to wherever they are, whatever works with everybody's scheduling. And so usually, sometimes they'll listen to the track in advance of the session. Sometimes they won't have heard it until we just met for the first time. So that can be a little different. But the process is always generally we'll listen to it like 1,000 times together, and we just kind of start throwing melodic ideas in the air until something sticks, and we'll just kind of go section by section in listening to that instrumental. And once we kind of have a general melody idea worked out for the whole song, we'll demo just sort of gibberish placeholder vocals, just so we don't forget it. And then we move on to the lyric writing. I think part of the reason that I really have to be in the room with them, beyond my own sort of control freaky craziness, is that Big Data is such a conceptually specific project that I have to have a pretty heavy hand in the sort of direction that the lyrics take, so that song to song, the songs don't feel totally scattered all over the place. My involvement is really to kind of try to keep the voice consistent across songs, even though I'm working with so many different people. So yeah, the process will usually be I usually keep a running list of just weird stuff I've been reading about the internet or the technology or the NSA or different sort of topics, and then I'll share them with my collaborator for the song and see if any one of them kind of jumps out at them. And then once we sort of pick the topic, then we kind of try to figure out a way to talk about it without specifically talking about it. So we'll try to kind of find, what's the one word that when you know it's about technology, it very clearly points you there, but if you don't know it's about technology, you could still read it as like a pop song or about anything. So we'll usually start from there, and then yeah, once we have that word, the lyric kind of builds around that metaphor, or whatever it is. So I'm trying to think of a good example. So like the song "Automatic" on that album, which I wrote it with Jen Wasner from the band Y Oak, and the song was about the Internet of Things, which is basically interconnected devices and technology that we use in our daily lives that kind of runs itself. So like, anything from like a Fitbit to a self-driving car to a scale that's connected to the cloud, essentially. So when you step on the scale, it logs your weight in your cloud account, which you can then read on your phone. So basically stuff that we use that sort of seamlessly integrates into our life and kind of powers itself. So automatic was kind of the word we landed on for that, and lyrically the song, it sort of feels like it's about a relationship, and it's sort of about a weird kind of codependent love relationship. There's never any point in the song that's like, I am your Fitbit or your smartphone. There's never a literal lyric, but all the sort of lines can be drawn to the technological side if you want, or it can just read as a weird codependent relationship. Yeah, definitely didn't see it coming anywhere close to the level that it has sort of happened. Like when I made that song and the first couple of Big Data songs, I had a full-time job. Big Data was my sort of nights and weekends project, and I really had certainly had no ambitions of touring, or I never thought that it would be my full-time thing. It's just sort of what I was doing for fun because I wanted to do it. So yeah, I definitely didn't see any of this coming. And once it started kind of getting on the radio, then my life really started to change, and every day kind of felt like a new surprise. So yeah, I had no idea. Nobody's listening when we're alone. Nobody's listening. Before releasing the song, I lined up a whole bunch of remixes. I produced a music video. I put together an interactive music video as well for it. And so yeah, I put the song out. I premiered it on a blog, and then it hit #1 on Hype Machine that day. And that's kind of what sort of started things in motion. And then the following week, I put out the interactive video that I've been building. It took 6 months to build it. Actually, a little more than that. That went viral. It got about 50 million earned media impressions, which is sort of more popular than a Super Bowl commercial. And then when that sort of started to fade out, I started putting remixes out of the song, and then I put the EP out, and then I put the music video for Dangerous out. Eventually, it took a while to make it, but so I kind of, I had a good feeling about the song to begin with, and I really tried to put as much sort of muscle as possible as a one-man operation into the marketing of that song, because I knew there was something special about it. So I wanted to try to give it the best possible chance. And I think that by kind of loading all of that artillery into the marketing of the song, it eventually sort of got onto the Sirius XM radar, and then they put it into rotation, and that's when things really started going crazy, and that's when my life really started to change. It was I had already bought my tickets to South by Southwest, which I was going to go to as a music business professional, and then I basically once all the radio stuff started happening, then it was like pretty clear that I was going to be able to quit my job, and I started lining up a replacement, and then yeah, I officially quit right before South by Southwest, and I went there just kind of for fun.
Out from the shadows to take me to the court because they know I shut this down. They've been watching on my window.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I would do it as an acoustic way, but songwriting is incredibly important to me, and songwriting is the backbone of pop music, at least, not necessarily pop music. But for what I'm trying to do, the songs need to be airtight before the production and the sort of like bells and whistles of modern pop and electronic stuff works its way in. Like, if you don't have a well-written song in there, no one's going to remember your music, period. Like, you'll be part of a fad and then it'll disappear because the song doesn't hold up over time. So the stuff that we remember over time is the stuff that's really well written. Which isn't to say that I'm like a fantastic songwriter, I'm just trying to say I care a lot about the way songs are written, and you need to be able to sort of pick up a guitar or piano or whatever instrument it is and be able to play that song on that instrument, or else it's probably not very well written. So yes, I would sort of someday like to kind of try some alternate arrangements of these songs. See how they hold up. Hopefully they are well written enough to work that way. There's no such thing as too much, that's for sure. Well, maybe there is. Not for me though. Festivals are really fun. It's just awesome being on a big stage in front of a ton of people in the summer with a lot of other bands that I love. I think I just did a quick sort of table napkin count, and I counted 13 festivals for this summer, but I'm probably wrong. But somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, I mean, I love playing live, and it's been really fun sort of figuring out how to do this project live. Because when I originally started it, it was very much a producer thing. How many crazy different sounds can I work into one song? And when I had to sort of translate that into how does this work with like a band? That was a difficult sort of road to navigate. But yeah, now the show is very much a band, and I wanted it to feel that way because I'm a guitar player kind of first and foremost. I've been in a lot of bands over the years, so I wanted to make sure that the live experience of Big Data felt like a show rather than like a guy with a computer. So the show now is there's a rhythm section, there's a drummer, a bass player, and a guitar player, and then I do a lot of singing, and I have a female vocalist that does a lot of singing as well. And we do a ton of vocal harmony, and then I have some computer stuff happening as well. We're actually touring right now. I call it the Gimme Data Tour, and we just finished the first leg of the East Coast, and we're about to go out to the West Coast.